Welcome to my first episode of It's Just Queen Bee's Thoughts. I'm Queen Bee, and today I'm going to take you on a deeply personal journey, a journey that I wasn't sure I'd ever make it through. For 10 years, I battled an oxycodone addiction. It had a grip on me that I couldn't shake. There were many days when it felt like it would never let go. But I'm here today, talking to you, because I found a way out. Not in the way you might expect, but through something that might surprise you. Before we dive in, let me set the stage. For 10 years, I battled that oxycodone addiction. There were days I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't be a mom to my kids. I was down to 90 pounds. I'd struggled for years trying to wean myself off. The withdrawal from it was the worst physical sickness I had ever felt. I was on my last leg, ready to give up, so I decided to try using a stimulant to offset the withdrawal effects. So I turned to meth to cope. It wasn't the escape that I thought it would be, but it was part of my journey. And through it all, music and deep self-reflection became my lifelines. They became the things that gave me hope when I didn't feel like there was any. Today, I'm going to share how I went from being trapped in addiction to finding my way back to myself. I remember the moment it started. What I thought was a way to numb the pain became a chain around my life. Oxy took a hold of me in a way that slowly stole my sense of who I was. For that 10 years, I was caught in a cycle of chasing a way to escape my pain, but in the end, it ended up turning out to be never enough. And when the oxy wasn't enough, meth seemed like a way to cope, a way to fill the void. I can't even count the days where I didn't want to keep going. The weight of it all, the constant craving, the feeling that I'd never be free. It was crushing. But even in the darkest moments, I found a way to keep going. I found music. Music has always been a part of my life since I could remember, but this time it was different. It became more than just something to listen to. It was my therapy. When I couldn't speak the words to describe my pain, music did it for me. It gave me space to reflect on the mess that I was in, to confront the parts of myself I didn't want to face. It wasn't just about the songs I wrote or listened to. It was about finding the strength to express the things I'd been too scared to deal with. And then there was the self-reflection that followed. That was the hardest part. You see, meth didn't give me the escape that I thought it would. Instead, it forced me to face myself in ways that I never expected. I started to look inward, asking myself the hard questions. Why am I here? Why do I keep running? What am I hiding from? Those moments of reflection weren't easy. Some days I didn't want to keep going. I wanted to give up, to let the addiction win because it felt easier than fighting. But here's the thing. I didn't give up. I kept going. Not because I had all the answers, but because somewhere inside of me, I knew I wasn't done yet. I wasn't finished writing my story. And so, day by day, I fought. I fought through the cravings, through the self-doubt, through the guilt of what my addiction had taken from me. I fought with music as my weapon and self-reflection as my shield. Slowly, I began to reclaim pieces of myself that I thought were gone forever. Now, here I am, 7 months sober. It's not the end of the journey, but it's a milestone. A reminder that even when it feels impossible, there's always a way out. I want you to know that if you're struggling, if you're in the middle of your own battle, you're not alone. There's always hope, even when you can't see it. And sometimes the things we least expect, like music or a moment of self-reflection, are the things that save us. So that's my story. Well, part of it anyways. I'll be sharing more in future episodes about the highs, the lows, and everything in between. But I want to leave you with this. No matter how deep you are in the struggle, there's always a way through. It might take time, and it might not look like you expect, but it's there. And I hope that as you listen to this podcast, you'll find a little bit of light, a little bit of hope, and maybe even a little bit of yourself in these stories. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your story. How have you dealt with the obstacles in your life? What helped you keep going when it felt impossible? Send me a message or leave me a comment, and let's talk about it. And if you're ready for more, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on what's coming next. Until then, remember, no matter how hard it gets, you're stronger than you think, and there's always a way forward.